Welcome back to Deep Social Insights from Stoic Life, where we explore the depths of psychology, philosophy, and human nature to help you live a more empowered life. Today's topic is intriguing and undoubtedly controversial. 7 signs you will notice if a woman has slept with many men. Before diving in, let's clarify, this isn't about judgment or condemnation. This is about understanding behaviors, patterns, and psychology. As always, we approach this with Stoic wisdom. Seek truth, stay grounded, and avoid emotional bias. Let's explore these 7 potential signs based on observable behavior and human psychology. Sign 1. She often brags about her past relationships. Identified item specifically. A woman who openly discusses multiple past relationships, especially in casual conversations, might have had extensive romantic or sexual experiences. While sharing one's past is natural, the frequency and pride with which she brings it up can be revealing. Stoicism teaches us to listen without judgment, but also to read between the lines. Sign. She exhibits hyper-independence in relationships. 1. How she loves her life. Others can help her feel better. Hyper-independence is often a result of conditioning, perhaps from navigating multiple short-term connections. If a woman avoids emotional vulnerability or insists on keeping relationships surface level, it could stem from repeated experiences where emotional depth was unnecessary or avoided. Signs. She is overly comfortable discussing sexual topics. Comfort with discussing sexuality is healthy, but when it feels excessive or overly detailed, it might indicate a deeper familiarity with such experiences. Stoicism advises that we maintain composure and not react emotionally to such conversations, but rather observe their context and intent. Sign 4. She has a pattern of being non-committal. Being non-committal might signal a history of avoiding long-term relationships. This isn't inherently negative. Some individuals prioritize freedom and exploration. However, patterns of reluctance to invest emotionally could hint at past dynamics that shaped this approach. 5. She has friends or associates with similar lifestyles. Number 5. Find a former slave. As the saying goes, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If her close circle often discusses casual encounters or prioritizes transient relationships, it's a reflection of shared values or lifestyles. But that reflects her own ongoing psychological evaluations of her life. Unofficial expertise is not guaranteed. Sign 6. She speaks about previous partners in a detached manner. Listen to how she speaks about her past. If there's detachment or indifference, it could suggest a lack of emotional connection in those experiences. Stoicism teaches us to focus on the nature of words and tone. They often reveal more than the content. All right, she often displays a need for validation, and so the documentary focuses exclusively on her, with a special focus on her sister, Anne. Seeking external validation, be it through social media, attention, or flirtation, can be a sign of deeper insecurities or habits formed through frequent interactions with others. This behavior doesn't define her worth, but offers insight into her psychological framework. Now let me emphasize something very important. These signs are not definitive or universal. People are complex, and their behaviors are shaped by countless factors: culture, upbringing, personal values, and more. Stoicism teaches us to approach such matters without bias, seeking understanding rather than judgment. Now let me start with a clear disclaimer. It isn't about judging anyone's choices or lifestyles. It's about gaining insight and understanding behavior. As Stoics, we aim to seek truth without being swayed by emotional biases. So if you're ready for a grounded and enlightening discussion, let's get into it. 7. She often brags about her past relationships. Sharing stories about past relationships is normal, but if she frequently brings them up, especially in a boastful or casual way, it might indicate a higher level of familiarity with various partners. For example, if she casually mentions that time with my ex in Italy, or, oh, my other ex used to do this, it's a clue she has a rich dating history. From a Stoic perspective, this is an opportunity for you to practice patience and observation. Remember, her past doesn't define your present interaction with her, but it does give you a window into her experiences and mindsets. 9. She exhibits hyper-independence in relationships. Hyper-independence often stems from self-preservation. Women who have had multiple partners may have learned not to rely too heavily on others, especially if those connections were fleeting. For example, you might notice her insistence on splitting bills, avoiding emotional vulnerability, or maintaining an extreme level of independence, even when closeness is warranted. Stoic wisdom teaches us to observe without taking things personally. Her behavior isn't necessarily about you, it's often about the patterns she has built over time. 10. She is overly comfortable discussing sexual topics. Question 10. Comfort with discussing sexual matters is generally a sign of maturity, but when it borders on oversharing, especially in casual conversations, it could reflect extensive experience. Imagine this scenario. You're having coffee and she starts discussing explicit details about intimacy or her past partners without hesitation. This level of ease often comes from repeated exposure to such discussions in personal contexts. As a Stoic, it's crucial to remain composed. Your role is to listen and assess the intent behind her words without letting emotions cloud your judgment. Although she is suffering from bipolar disorder, we need to ensure she has adequate medical care. 11. She has a pattern of being non-committal. Some individuals, men and women alike, prefer the freedom of non-commitment. However, if you notice that she avoids defining the relationship or hesitates to make long-term plans, it might indicate a history of transient connections. This could be as simple as her saying, "I'm not looking for anything serious right now," or changing the subject when future plans are mentioned. From the Stoic lens, remember to respect her autonomy while considering how this aligns with your own values. A clear mind leads to better decisions. 12. She has friends or associates with similar lifestyles. Birds of a feather flock together. If her closest friends frequently talk about casual dating or prioritize short-term experiences, it's likely that these shared values reflect her own. Pay attention to her social circle, not to judge, but to understand the influences shaping her outlook on relationships. Remember what Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Surroundings play a significant role in shaping behavior. 17. She speaks about previous partners in a detached manner. Listen carefully to how she describes her past relationships. Does she speak fondly, regretfully, or indifferently? Indifference or detachment could signal that these connections lacked emotional depth. For example, if she says, "Oh, that was just a thing," or "we didn't really mean much to each other," it reveals a tendency to keep things surface level. Stoic philosophy reminds us to look beyond words, actions, tone, and context, often reveal the deeper truth. Sign. She often displays a need for validation. If there is a problem, she thinks the investigator has overlooked it. Finally, observe how much external validation she seeks. Is she constantly updating her social media with attention-grabbing posts? Does she frequently seek reassurance about her appearance or desirability? This behavior might stem from past experiences where her self-worth was tied to external factors like physical attractiveness or others' opinions. Stoicism encourages us to focus on intrinsic values rather than external validation. This understanding can help you navigate these dynamics more effectively. These 14 signs are not hard and fast rules, but rather patterns you may notice. Remember, every person is a unique individual, and their behaviors are shaped by countless factors beyond their romantic history. As Stoics, we strive to understand without condemnation and to observe without emotional entanglement. If this video resonated with you or gave you new insights, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to What the Stoic Life Guide. Let's continue exploring these fascinating topics together. Season 3 begins with a Remember, true wisdom lies in understanding and empathy. If this video brought you insight, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content on Stoicism, psychology, and mastering life. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, stay strong, stay wise, and keep living the Stoic life.